I need you to put an end to everything now, my dear child. Put aside whatever has been bothering you and spend this time with me. Everything that comes your way will be altered by what I am going to say, but only if you remain with me until the very end. I'm offering you an option right now. You have two options. Stay here and accept what I've prepared, or leave and let this breakthrough pass you by. Pay close attention, my kid. The heavens are now focusing on you in this very breath. All of my messengers have stopped to observe your next move. Will you stick around, or will you become distracted once more? Everything that follows will be shaped by your response. I didn't just happen to bring you here. In my domain, coincidence does not exist. I have been calling you for a long time, which is why you were brought to these words at this precise hour. And I'm finally close enough for you to hear me clearly today. The entirety of what I have for you has been suppressed by something. The breakthrough I had in store for your life even before you were born has been postponed for whatever reason. I'm releasing that grip today, but you have to accompany me step by step through this. Keep your thoughts focused. Don't allow the cacophony of the outside world distract you from this holy moment, because this is one of the most significant events of your year. You have carried so much, my child. When no one else was around, I witnessed every tear you shed. I have heard all of your prayers, even the ones you thought would never be answered. Even if everything inside of you wanted to quit, I saw you struggle, fight, and keep going. You thought I wasn't paying attention since you were so tired. Somewhere along the way, you thought I had forgotten about you. But now, my dear one, listen to me. I never once left your side. And I'm going to demonstrate to you today that, despite the silence, I have been working on your side the entire time. I need you to comprehend something, music, about your life. I marked you as mine the moment you were created. There is no force in this world that can break the seal I put on your existence. Through all of your storms, that seal, music, has held. It took you through valleys that almost engulfed you. When everything around you attempted to pull you down, it kept you upright. You are still covered by that seal. But it's time for it to open today, my darling, and for all I've been saving for you to be freed. I'll show you 3 locations where your life has been overtaken by sadness. These are not minor issues. They are heavy, ancient burdens that have lingered for far too long over various aspects of your path. Together, we will lift them one by one. But you have to stay here with me. The depth of what I am doing here demands your whole heart, not just a quick gaze, so you must not hurry or become sidetracked. Your provision bears the initial burden. This is the reason why it seems like abundance always eludes you right before you get to it. This explains why, despite working with all of your strength, you felt as though you were never fully making progress. The forces opposing my plan for you put this burden there, and for far too long it has put pressure on your supply. But pay close attention. That weight is already starting to lighten as these words reach you. Do you sense any changes in your surroundings? Right now, the atmosphere in your life is shifting. I want you to comprehend a crucial aspect of this specific burden. It was never supposed to last forever. It served as a litmus test to see if you would hold on to your faith in the face of nothing obvious, to see whether you would still have faith in me when your hands felt empty. My darling, you passed that test. You clung to your beliefs. When belief made no sense on earth, you continued to believe. And as a result of your perseverance, the burden associated with your provision is prepared to be lifted at this very now. The secrets you have held were never intended to define music, you, my darling. The hurtful remarks said about you and the times you felt neglected or undeserving don't represent reality. This is what is true. You are really valued. It was with considerable intention that you were selected, and now is the time for you to rise. Let go of your hold on disappointment. Let go of the grief associated with what you feel you have lost. It doesn't have the last word over your future. You will see proof of what I am doing in music in the coming days. Unexpected resources will end up in your hands. Unexpectedly, an opportunity that previously appeared unattainable would present itself. When a door has been locked for too long, it will eventually open. However, you have to maintain your faith throughout this. Do not allow uncertainty to reappear and persuade you that music has not changed. Continue to have faith. Continue to observe. I'm already working on your behalf, even in ways you can't yet see, so keep your heart focused on me. The adversary of your tranquility will attempt to whisper that nothing has really changed, and that today is just another peaceful day like the others. Don't listen to that voice. I don't watch your life from a distance. I'm close. I'm involved. And what your eyes haven't yet seen, I've already arranged. Remain steady. Keep your head up. We're almost done with the waiting music. Declare that you believe this right now. My child, say yes to me. I want to talk to you now about the second location where heaviness has accumulated. My child, this one is about your connections. It is the cause of your feelings of loneliness, even in a crowded setting. It is the reason why people around you have found it difficult to comprehend the depths of your personality. It's the reason you continued being pulled toward relationships that made you feel weaker rather than stronger. However, I'm going to change this now. I'm releasing the hold this load has had on your life. Pay close attention, my dear. I'm getting ready to introduce you to new individuals. These will not be typical interactions. I will be the one initiating these interactions. Those who will acknowledge the value I once placed in you. Those who will support your goals rather than obstruct them. You won't be able to open doors on your own without their help. But also pay attention to this fact. Until space is created for these new linkages, they cannot fully emerge. That might entail letting go of some ties that have been silently depleting you for far too long. It might include moving away from those who, despite your affection, have consistently pulled you backward rather than forward. I am aware that this is not easy. Rarely is it possible to let go of the familiar. But my darling, it's essential. The change asks you to be sincere with music. It invites you to think that a better future is already imminent. It begs you to give up on relationships that lessen the light I put within you. It begs you to have faith that I have someone or something ready and waiting that is much more in line with your destiny. The wealth I have saved for you is far greater than what you have clung to. Put aside the grief associated with your past. Let go of any remarks said about you that made you feel inadequate, because those statements were never accurate. This is what has always been true. You have been carefully chosen and are incredibly loved. You've clung to people and situations because you thought they could fill the voids that only I could. I kindly request that you release your hold today. You may rely on me to fill the voids, heal the injured, and deliver a tranquility beyond anything you have ever experienced. Even on the evenings when you felt ignored, I have seen you gently handle this, my child, even when opportunities seem to elude you. But be aware of this. Time that seemed to be spent was never wasted. It was getting ready. Every step you've taken on this path, every obstacle you've faced, and every individual who has left you have all subtly brought you closer to your current position. Unless you let it, your past has no influence over you. You are being called forward by your future. Additionally, I've already started positive things for you. Don't be upset with the people I'm asking you to let go. They are not your adversaries. They were never supposed to be held accountable for a conclusion I had already decided. It is not an issue of fault. It just comes down to the seasons. I'm shifting them into a new chapter in my wisdom, just as I'm shifting you into yours. I don't need you to fully comprehend the moment. You might never do so. All I ask for is your confidence. The kind of faith that allows you to follow my hand even when it takes you in unexpected directions. You might experience an emptiness that music appears difficult to handle when this change occurs in your life. That makes sense because you've become accustomed to a certain shape throughout the years. However, I won't abandon you to sit in that void. If you let me, I'll fill it with my own presence. I'll talk into the quiet. You will find that I am sufficient in ways you never would have thought imaginable when I stand in the empty space. My proximity will become more apparent than ever in the same area you are afraid of. Keep this in mind, my dear. The positive aspects of a relationship do not disappear when it ends. The comfort, the laughter, the kindness. It was all true, and you can be thankful for it without clinging to the individual or season. Even while you give it to me, you can express gratitude for what was given. Bless what's coming to an end, because the same hand that is leading you is also directing others. I'm closing a door. Don't try to force it open. No amount of work can keep it open without endangering both parties. I shut some doors to keep you out of rooms that are no longer beneficial to you, not to trap you. Even though it hurts, trust music that what I am doing is final. You prolong your own pain each time you reject this action. Each time you give into it, you create a way for it to finally reach you and bring you calm. In the days to come, you could reflect on the past, wondering how it is doing and whether it misses the spot it used to have next to you. That's okay, my kid, but don't waste time thinking about what may have been. It's a mirage. When I've already made a clear road ahead of you, it will keep you circling the same area. You will eventually witness the results of what you experienced in this music moment, such as loss. When you look back, you'll realize that I wasn't just removing anything. I was holding on while creating space for what you could never have gotten. There are some relationships in your life, my child, that have really held you solid, like music, which gives you motivation to keep going through challenging times. However, some are not designed to take you the distance music I am calling you to journey, no matter how cozy they may feel. For a brief while, they provide consolation, but they lack the fortitude to face the future. Their roots do not draw from the water I have prepared for you, even if they may appear innocuous now and even pleasant during their season. They provide shade, but it's the kind that obstructs the light I want to cast on your journey. I am aware that you become a little uneasy when I talk about releasing individuals. You imagine the silence that would ensue, the silence where a familiar voice used to be. You question why I would let you share your days and thoughts with someone, love them and lean into them, just to help you find release. However, I am not punishing you by taking anything from you, my dear. I'm taking it because I've finished the task I plan to perform with that connection. Furthermore, holding on to it any longer would simply cause the new job I'm preparing for you to be delayed. Holding on firmly isn't always a sign of love. Sometimes letting go is a sign of love. When I inform you that the moment has come, even the most sincere relationship can turn into chains if they prevent you from following the road I have already outlined for you. Do you recall the silent prayers you said while no one else could hear you? You requested that I grow. You requested direction, change, and the bravery to become all that I had intended you to be. You wanted me to help you, mold you, and get rid of anything that was getting in the way. Even while it may not yet appear as you had hoped, what I am doing right now is my response to those exact requests. You thought that this type of pruning would feel delicate, similar to carefully clipping a blossoming branch. However, there are moments when pruning feels like a loss because I am removing what once blossomed magnificently, but is no longer able to produce the fruit I want for your life. I cut for the sake of what is to come, not only for what has already been, because I see what is not yet grown, my kid. I'm not just letting go of specific individuals from your path. Additionally, I am gradually releasing the aspects of you that were overly dependent on their presence. There are parts of you where you looked for their voice before you looked for mine, where you took solace in their endorsement before you found it in my reality. I tell this to help you realize why this separation is necessary, not to make you feel ashamed. You must stand on ground that is exclusively mine and not shared as your foundation with anybody else in order to truly walk in the strength I have prepared music for you. I'm asking you, my child, to put some of what you own, something substantial, on the altar of this job, just like gold is placed on the scales of this calling. Let it be an offering placed on stone, a seed planted in deep water and not suppressed by fear. This demonstrates that your heart no longer clings to need and that you trust me to provide. What you let go of in your religion stays in your life. It advances into the harvest I'm preparing before you. My dear, I want you to keep in mind something crucial. A season's value is not lost when it ends. The happy times were genuine. It all mattered: the laughing, the compassion, the peaceful solace. Additionally, you are free to treasure those memories without holding on to things that have passed their usefulness. Possession is never necessary for gratitude. Even as you let someone go into the plan I have for their journey, you can thank me for what they brought into your life. Bless them along the way, for they are being guided by the same hand that is leading you. This goodbye will be painful. I won't act any differently. I will not urge you to behave as if endings don't hurt, since I molded your heart to feel profoundly. But in the pain, I'll be beside you. I will comfort you during the nights when you want to grasp for what has vanished and gently tell you that it is no longer there. When you sense the urge to reopen what I have already closed, I will give you strength